No player saw their approval ratings shoot through the roof after the NBA's in-season tournament more than Tyrese Haliburton, the budding superstar point guard for the Indiana Pacers. Yes, I said it, budding superstar. And I know that word gets thrown around a lot, but what Tyrese Haliburton has done through a quarter of the NBA season, building off of the All-Star season he had last year, has been nothing short of special. Haliburton has led the Pacers to a 12-8 start, is the orchestrator of the NBA's best offense, and impressive performances against the Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks in the in-season tournament quarter and semifinals has put the broader basketball audience on notice. Haliburton has been absolutely ridiculous and has been a first-team All-NBA candidate, an MVP candidate, and if you just isolate it to this season alone, so far, Haliburton has been a top 3 offensive player in the entire NBA. Full stop. Yep, I said it, and I'm not even joking. Last year, Haliburton became the 14th player in NBA history to finish a season averaging 20 points per game and 10 assists per game. But when you add in his 3-point shooting percentage that year, he became the only player to average those numbers while shooting 40% from 3. And this year, the numbers and the things he is doing on offense are just obscene and literally never been seen before. So let's talk about Mr. Tyrese John Haliburton. I don't think we've properly understood the leap Haliburton has taken this year. It's unprecedented. Haliburton is averaging 27 points per game, 12 assists per game, and 4 rebounds per game on an insane 67% true shooting percentage. And if you like traditional percentages instead, he is posting a near 50-40-90 season. He is shooting 44% from 3 on nearly 9 attempts per game. That's fucking absurd. Haliburton is doing something that has never been done before at the point guard position. Not Magic, not Isaiah Thomas, not Chris Paul, Jason Kidd, John Stockton, Gary Payton, Steve Nash, and whatever other point guard or point forward you want to throw in there. No one, and I mean no one, at any position in NBA history has averaged 24 points per game and 12 assists per game in an entire season. Yet, Haliburton is averaging 27 and 12, and I didn't even need to include his shooting percentages as a qualifier. What's even more insane is that his turnover numbers are low for someone who controls most of the Pacers' possessions. Haliburton increased his assists per game from 10.4 last year to 12.1 this year, but he has somehow decreased his turnovers per game from 2.5 last year to 2.2 this year. Haliburton is essentially taking care of the ball like a Chris Paul. But unlike Chris Paul, whose teams throughout his whole career never really played fast, and CP3 himself played a methodical style, Haliburton is playing at a breakneck speed like a modern-day Steve Nash, as the Pacers lead the league in pace. And with Haliburton's size, he tries more audacious passes, like his signature jump pass that he has loved doing since his days in Sacramento. And by the way, if I can just go off script from this video for a minute, there is another crazy Haliburton stat I have to throw at you. 15 players in NBA history have had a game where they score at least 25 points, drop 15 assists, and commit 0 turnovers. The only player on that list who has done that multiple times is Tyrese Haliburton, and he's done it 3 times this season alone. That's fucking ridiculous. Also, like a Steve Nash, Haliburton being a shooting threat from deep his entire career is what always made his offensive upside so unique and interesting. But being more aggressive as a scorer at 27 points per game is what's helping Haliburton make the leap from just an all-star point guard last year to a new height that is making him a budding superstar. Haliburton's increased aggression as a scorer has done wonders for his game and in turn has done wonders for the Pacers. Haliburton is taking nearly 3 more shot attempts per game this year, his usage rate is higher, and with that, his efficiency has somehow also jumped across all areas of the floor, but most importantly, he has found a sweet spot in the in-between area whenever a team sells out to trap him or take away his three-pointer, the short mid-range area in between 4 to 14 feet, which is considered the runner and floater area. Tyrese Haliburton is shooting an absolutely nasty 64% per cleaning the glass, up from 46% last year. He's been using runners, floaters high off the glass. He's really making it an art form, just getting the ball over the outstretched arms of a shot blocker. And on long twos, he's been efficient as well, shooting 52%. So let me get this straight. This guy is taking more threes off the dribble, shooting a higher percentage from three, but has somehow mastered the art of the fucking floater. And on top of that, he's increased his playmaking even more while also turning the ball over less. What the fuck are we watching, dude? I never thought I'd see the day where a player is topping Nikola Jokic in some of the advanced metrics on offense. Haliburton is currently leading the NBA in offensive box plus minus and offensive win shares, which are two categories Jokic has led the league in the last 3 seasons. And if you go to dunksandthrees.com, which is a really good website, Haliburton leads the pack by far in offensive estimated plus minus. Haliburton's leap as an offensive player has been absolutely jaw-dropping, and his play so far has put him squarely at the top of the cream of the crop in the NBA. Furthermore, like all franchise players, the team has taken on the identity of Haliburton. Much like Haliburton, the Pacers' offensive statistics are absolutely off the charts. They also have players with different offensive skill sets that fit around Haliburton. First, let's look at the numbers. The Pacers lead the NBA in offensive rating by a mile at 123.9 points per 100 possessions. For reference, the Sixers are second at 121.3. The gap in offensive rating between the Pacers and the Sixers is as big as the gap between the Sixers' offensive rating and the 6th-ranked offense. The Pacers, as mentioned, lead the league in pace, and if you watch my video I made before the season, I threw out the prediction that the Pacers could be the fastest-paced team in 25 years, and there's still plenty of season left for that to happen. The Pacers as a team also lead the league in assists per game, have the second lowest turnover percentage, the best team assist to turnover ratio, lead the league in team field goal percentage, and are 4th in 3-point makes, 5th in 3-point attempts, and 6th in 3-point percentage. Personnel-wise, the Pacers have shooting, point guards that are really good backing up Haliburton that also set the table, rim attackers, athletic bigs and forwards, and a center who can roll and pop. The crux of the offense seems to be that high pick and roll between Haliburton and Miles Turner. It was a frequent play last season, and it's a big staple again this season. They also like to bring up a second screener in that double drag screen, usually a shooter like Buddy Hield, and really discombobulate a defense. This Pacer team gets so many possessions that they are just going to score points, and Haliburton is the conductor of this symphony. For me, the big question this season will be, is the Pacers' defense going to continue to be this bad, or will their defense, like in the Boston and Milwaukee games in the in-season tournament, be able to at least be passable? Find pockets in the game where they can get multiple stops in a row and then blitz teams with their offense. If the Pacers do that, I can see them giving a top Eastern Conference team that has high expectations absolute hell in the first round, or even pull off an upset. They don't have the personnel to be a great defense. For now, there are still trades to make. Pascal Siakam or OG Anunoby maybe? And not only that, this is the beginning of this young core cycle with players to add in future off seasons. But one thing is for sure, the Pacers have their bona fide franchise player who plays a fun style, leads a fun team, is adding his own remix to the position, and more importantly, they're winning games. When you already have that type of player in place, building out the roster is just easier. And it's a great starting point most teams would be jealous of.